Hello, happy 2022. I hope you guys are doing very well. Happy New Year to everybody that's watching right now. Happy New Year to everyone that's in the chat. I can see a lot of you guys are in there already. I'll go over everything that you're saying in the chat. Also, everyone wish James a happy new year, and also Clint a happy new year. Clint's not here this evening. James is he's producing the show. He's in the where is he's like
Yeah.
there's a weird place where James hangs out. I don't
No
know
matter where you go, there you are.
Exactly. No matter where you go, there James is. But I hope you guys are all doing very well. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. A heck of a lot. Not only we got to celebrate the fact that it's a new year and 2021 has finally left us, thank God. But then again, 2022 is probably going to be no better. But I wish everyone I wish everyone
Don't jinx it, man.
I know. I thought the minute I said that, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to jinx it. But let's get into the chat and say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Geek Studios in the chat saying Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. It's been a while since I've done this, so do bear with me. We've got Leroy Kong in the chat saying Happy New Year. We've got Happy New Year to you, Leroy. And we have eBoard 3R. I don't know how to say that, but yeah, cool.
E-border.
E-border, but I was more talking about his comment. I have no idea how to pronounce that. And hello, Jedi Master EJ says hello there. Hello, Mr. Jedi Master EJ. How you doing? I'm waiting for a clip to.
Hello there.
Hello there. We also have Sean Harrigan. I just like saying it that way. In the chat saying, welcome back, Small Screen. Yes, this is our first live of 2022. It's good fun doing this again. Hello to you, Sean. I hope you're doing well. Who else do we have? Yes, Geek Studios saying, hope everyone's doing well. We hope you're doing well, Geek Studios. We have Bobby Anderson in the chat saying, hi, everyone. Looking forward to the stream. Hello, Bobby. I hope you're doing very, very well.
Happy early birthday to Bobby on Tuesday.
Happy early birthday to Bobby. Happy birthday. Who else do we have in the chat? We have Multiverse Productions saying, what's up, everyone? What's up, Multiverse Productions? I hope you're doing really, really well. Let's move down to Curtis. CB3 says, happy 2022 to all. Happy 2022 to you, Curtis. I hope you're doing very well. Right, we have Kazakh saying Happy New Year to me. Of course, everyone wish Kazakhs a happy New Year. We still got.
Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
Cocainum. Happy New Year to you, Kazakhs. And Roberto Belga saying morning. He's over on Facebook. So hello to you. Morning to you, Roberto. Right. We have Curtis saying, we're going to see Plum tonight. I need a little Plum in my life. I don't know. I don't know. That's up to James, I suppose. Like if he's around, actually, well, James to bring him in. But if Dan's around, yeah, we'd love to have him in. Maybe later. I don't know. Who else do we have? We have Curtis saying hello, Peter. Yeah, that's a good. Do we have that one? I don't know if we have that one.
Hello, Peter. Hello there.
Hello there. And well, who else do we have? Are we bringing up any other comments, James? Pad Ed just saying hello. Hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. We do this for the first 5 minutes where we go over everyone in the comments and hope to bring everyone's comments up as well. Make sure.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone to feel left out. We've left out, I think, one person. Yes, Neo7 says hello all. That's a very freaky picture. Neo7s. Well, Happy New Year to you. Right. I think we've got through everybody there. What I wanted to do to start off with was just to give you a rundown of what we're hopefully going to go over today. Sometimes we don't cover absolutely everything. There's been a heck of a lot of news. So I suppose we're going to talk about the Flash movie. We're going to talk about Henry Cavill Superman. We're going to talk about a new Justice League, possibly. We're going to be talking about Ben Affleck's Batman. We're going to be talking about Grant Gustin's The Flash. We're going to be talking about Andrew Garfield and everything he's been saying. And also we're going to be talking about the movements online that have been happening to try and make not just Spider-Man 4 happen, but also the Amazing Spider-Man 3 happen. It seems as though people really want all that stuff to happen. Also, if you want me to answer any questions in the chat, feel free to put those into the chat. We'll try and answer as many questions as we can. I hopefully answer them to the best of my ability for you guys. It'd be really, I just want to hear from you, hear how you're doing. Whatever questions you have does not matter. And yes, please like and subscribe. If you can press that like and that subscribe button, that would be wonderful. And a very nice present for us to begin 2022. Subscribe. So I suppose I wanted to start off by addressing the elephant in the room, which is everything that's been going on with the Snyderverse, and just reports that have come out recently about what's going on.
Bathurst.
Yeah, with Bathurst, specifically with the Snyderverse. So there were reports posted on Twitter, which is a great place to post reports, that apparently this new Flash movie is going to completely erase everything that's happened in the Snyderverse. So specifically, I suppose, Zack Snyder's movies. So Man of Steel, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman versus Superman, all those films, according to certain reports, the Flash is going to just completely erase those. It does make sense in a weird way. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this because it does make sense for the movie to do this as its own film, because the film is literally a movie about not just about traveling. Seems as though traveling different in the multiverse, in the DC version of the multiverse, to different Earths, but also it seems that it's going to be about time travel. So there were rumors for quite some time that this is like a kind of take on Flashpoint, which is a very famous DC comic. If you haven't read it, read it. It's really good. It's also an animated movie, which is pretty good as well. And they're taking elements of that and bringing that into this movie. It seems as though it's less of that now and more of a kind of DC Films version of No Way Home, where they bring in different characters from the multiverse, or their version of the multiverse, different Earths. That's how you got Ben Affleck's Batman in it, and also Michael Keaton's Batman in it. But also possibly Sasha Calle's Supergirl is going to be from a different Earth we don't know yet. And apparently they're going to be different versions of the Flash in this movie as well. So that's all fun, I think, to a certain extent, as far as this movie is concerned. But what people got very upset about is the idea that this is going to completely erase the Snyderverse from continuity, which is very possible. I don't think this is what they should be doing, but also I don't think we should be worrying about it as much as people have been. I think this is Warner Brothers trying to course correct, which is what they're going to do, because they want to go in a different direction. That's what it looks like is happening at the moment. At least this is, for me, this is just all speculation, because I've got no information as far as that side of things is concerned. However, I suppose this will segue into what an article we posted on Small Screen. We've actually got a video on it as well, which you can go and check out right now. We posted it just before the live, and it's about Henry Cavill. So the fact,
Yeah.
I haven't done one of these on my own for some time. It's quite fun, but the fact that
I'm here in spirit, brother.
it's fun, it's good.
Yeah.
I need to do it. I'm going to be doing more. I'm going to be doing more of these on my own as well. Yeah, yeah, you really pushed me into it.
Everyone go to the Small Screen TikTok and watch Edward's one-on-one videos. Yeah,
yeah, I've been doing more of those
videos
as well.
Yeah.
Yes, where they're very close up, aren't they, James? I know you've got an issue with the framing.
I really don't care about the framing. I just have to bust your balls sometimes. I
know, it's TikTok. You do whatever you think might work. But yeah, it's also just fun to do. It's just easy on a phone. But so actually I posted a video about this on TikTok as well. So the information that we got is that Henry Cavill is deep in negotiations for a future to play Superman again. That's specific. If you go and read the article in the video is to play Superman again, not specifically in a Superman solo movie. That's what we were told. But the thing is that it's at the moment nothing's going to be set in stone until a certain merger is complete, and that's the truth of the matter is. And I want to be completely open and honest with you. Nothing will be completely set in stone until after the Warner Media Discovery merger is done, because that's not what they care about at the moment. What they care about, I've been part of a company that was taken over. I've also been part of a company that went through a merger. And what tends to happen when companies go through mergers is that things change pretty drastically and actually relatively quickly, I found out. And people leave, new people come in. There's a whole load of reorganization that goes on, and there are also projects. And I was there as part of I was a journalist. Company I was working for was taken over by another company. It was actually merged by another company. It was the Express, Reach, put everyone together. And it's in the UK. You don't want to know about that, but yeah, that's what happened. But basically, projects get cancelled. Like, we had a load of things that we were working on that the new management came in and just said, no, we're going to scrap that. We're going to go with not a completely new direction, but we're going to try other things. The word they like to use was experiment at the time. We want to do experimentation, and this is what happens all the time when these things happen. And it looks, as a side note, it looks like the merger is going to go through. So there's an article on Small Screen about that now. The AT&T CEO, Stanky, his name, I think, he said that he's pretty optimistic that it's going to be approved by the courts in the US, so they're not going to have any legal issues with that. So it does look like that merger is going to go through. I'm hearing April is when it'll be finalized. So basically, I suppose the news here isn't that Actor wants to play role. The news is that Actor and his team are negotiating for future appearances as Superman. So he's not done playing Superman. And that's what I want. That's really all that I want you guys to take away from that article, is that's literally the news. And also we were told that it's likely that he might turn up. The idea is for him to turn up in a Black Adam 2. The problem with that is that Black Adam 2 is not a certainty yet. We have to wait until Black Adam comes out and see how well that does at the box office. So there's a whole lot of variables to this. And this is the problem when you're trying to report about this. It's not easy. And, and people say this all the time when you're talking to them. It's pretty much up in the air, like at the moment. Nothing's set in stone, especially when a company at the moment that's going through a merger. It's very, very difficult to get a fine line on everything. So don't lose hope. But also, I've been seeing a lot of rather strange and negative talking online, which you don't need to go down that route. There's no reason to do that. It's counterproductive, I think, is the best word to describe it, because I know people want the Snyderverse to continue. It'd be great to see more of Zack Snyder's movies, more of Henry Cavill's Superman. It'd be great to see more of Ben Affleck's Batman. I'll talk a bit about Ben Affleck in a minute. But, these things can't go on forever. Let's be honest. And Warner Brothers are already seeing, if you look at it from their point of view, for them, the real test is to see how well Robert Pattinson's Batman film does, The Batman, and then they might go into that direction. And this is a common theme that we've seen with Warner Brothers for many, many years, with all of these DC Comics films, especially, is that they've really lacked a clear strategy. And it looks and it sounds like to me, this is one thing that is actually something that Discovery and people at Discovery want to sort out. But at the moment, it's all a bit all over the place. And Warner Brothers executives have wanted to sort this out for quite some time now, which is why they've really seen the Flash movie as their holy grail. So what I'm saying to you is that part of what a certain person said in a tweet actually probably is true. And I just don't want you to get upset about that, because you know what? You might actually really enjoy the movie. With every cloud, there is a silver lining. And that silver lining might be that in the long run, you might actually end up getting very good DC Comics movies on a regular basis, not just, a peppering here and there, which it has, let's be honest, it has been up until this point. I love the DC Comics movies, and I love them because they are so unique. Compared to Marvel, they're very unique. What you don't really want is for DC films to become Marvelized. That's not what you want. That's a very different thing entirely. But what you do want is for there to be some sort of long-term strategy. You want there to be you want there to be a continuation of these movies. You don't want superhero movies to go the way of the Western, for instance. You don't want more articles of, more comments from people like Martin Scorsese saying that comic book movies aren't cinema. If anything, the comic book movies that have been made recently that you can categorically say are cinema have been the DC Comics movies. You just look at look at Christopher Nolan's Batman films. Look at Zack Snyder's Justice League. Those films are cinema, and I don't think there's any other way of looking at them as something other. But it's going to be an interesting couple of years, I think, for DC Comics. In the next couple of guys, I'm seeing some comments. I'm not a Warner Brothers shill. I'm just trying to bring some try and instigate some calm and logic to everything, because I think that's what happens. People tend to get a bit riled up for the wrong reasons, and
everyone's got to remember that there's human beings on the other end of that Twitter account. That's all.
Yeah, there's
and
that
there
as
are
well.
human beings at the studio as well too. I mean, I know WB doesn't really think that the way they treated some of their employees, but I mean. Not all of them that work at WB, I'm sure, like racist bastards.
No. And actually, I think later on in the show, James and I will go over some of our favorite movies of 2021. A couple of those films will be DC Comics movies, won't they, James? I'm pretty sure. I know my top 10 they were. But it's really...
Yeah.
It's just, I think the word that's been thrown around a lot recently about some of the reaction, not everyone, of course, but some of the reaction to a lot of this news has been toxic, which I do think there's a segment of the Snyderverse fandom, and I know I'll probably lose a lot of people by saying this, but that it is that is what it's become. And Curtis is saying, don't forget the lizard people. Yes, don't forget the lizard people. Aren't they the royal family?
Wow.
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 The next bit of news I wanted to get onto was the comments that were made by Ben Affleck about playing Batman. And this was actually really interesting, because one of the other bits of news that one of the rumors that we keep on hearing is that Ben Affleck is developing another Batman project. Well, I mean, those have always been a bit weird to me, because I've been like, okay, not so sure about that. That's all I'll say about that. But in an interview with the Herald Sun, he made it pretty clear that The Flash is going to be the last time he'll be playing Batman. But he's also very proud of what he's done in this movie. So just for this alone, I'm really excited to see what he's up to in this film. So he said, I hope they maintain the integrity of what we did, because I thought it was great and really interesting. Different, but not in a way that is incongruent with the character. Who knows? Maybe they'll decide that it doesn't work, but when I went, I did it. And it was really fun and really, really satisfying and encouraging, I thought. Wow, I think I have finally figured it out. And he said, a really nice finish on my experience with that character. So I think that to me is pretty clear that this will be the last time we get to see Ben Affleck play Batman, which is bittersweet because hopefully, by the sound of it, it'll probably be his. I mean, he's already delivered incredible performances as Batman. Genuinely, I think he's one of the best actors to ever play the role. But it seems as though the Flash is really going to knock our socks off. To use a very English,
you did write an article about this a few months ago. Very extensive article.
Yeah. Yes, about Ben Affleck. I mean, you know, I don't want to comment on what other people have written and what's been said in other outlets, but it's just one of those things that I see a lot. It's like, oh, Ben Affleck's doing this, Ben Affleck's doing that. He's talking to these people, he's talking to those people. I think that, I mean, he said himself the reason he came back to play Batman in Zack Snyder's Justice League was as a favor to Zack Snyder. I think he even spoke recently in an article James was telling me about, where he said that working on Justice League, on Joss Whedon's Justice League, was the worst experience of his professional career, which is saying something because he was in Daredevil. So you know, you got to wonder how bad it must have been, and I'm pretty sure that must have left an incredibly bitter taste in his mouth. But you know, I'm really happy to hear that he is happy with what he's done on the film. It's interesting to see that he doesn't know whether they'll use this or not. Again, most actors don't until they see the final cut of the movie, unless they're producers on the film or you know they're directly involved, which Ben Affleck tends to be actually in his movies now. But I suppose the only way I could see him coming back to play Batman is if Zack Snyder is involved again and asks him to come back, and that's the only way. But I think as far, you know, it looks to me as though we're going to be seeing more of Michael Keaton's Batman in the future rather than Ben Affleck's. And then of course we've got Robert Pattinson's Batman as well, because we do know that Michael Keaton's going to be playing Batman again in the Batgirl film, which I think is about to go into production. And that one's going to be interesting because that's going to be an HBO Max exclusive. So I mean, I know I've already, ask me your questions about this. I will try and answer them for you. But if I already see people saying that they don't think that Ben's done with Batman. As it stands, I think that one's pretty much done. The Flash movie will be his last time playing Batman, which, as I said before, will be a bittersweet moment. James, do you want to have a look at some of the comments before I move on? Yes, you want to bring some of them up. Pretty sure if Snyder called him, he'll do it again. I agree with you, Kaz. I think if Zack Snyder were to call him, as I said before, that would be the way to bring him back as Batman. It would be as another favor to Zack, and also they really do love working with each other. I was going to say they really do love each other. They probably do, but they really do seem to love working with each other, and it's a very good working relationship between those two guys. And also, I mean, Ben Affleck always really liked Zack Snyder's vision for Batman, and you know, he delivered. He really did deliver on that. Who else do we have? We have people saying that I'm a Warner Brothers shill, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Curtis says, I hope the studios will use No Way Home model to realize they have different fan bases and have concurrent movies in different worlds. I think so. I think you're right. I think the interesting thing is that with No Way Home, with Spider-Man No Way Home, that was really a huge love letter to the fans. You know, bringing Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back, that was like a massive, massive moment for the fans. And actually, Clint did a really good video. I don't know why I said actually. Clint always does very good videos. But he did a really good video about fan service and saying that fan service actually isn't a bad word. And it really, when it's done right, fan service can be amazing. And in No Way Home's case, yes, it was incredible. Fan service done right. And this upcoming Flash movie, we're going to see if they do something similar, and if they bring back those characters, they bring back Michael Keaton as Batman, Ben Affleck as Batman, and they do it properly. It'll be interesting to see the difference between those two films, because it does sound like those films are going to be quite similar. this isn't the first time that's happened. I mean, they'll be coming out in different years, but the year that Batman versus Superman came out, we also saw was it Captain America: Civil War, which was basically you could have called that movie Captain America versus Iron Man. And it tends to happen. It tends to happen not only in comic book movies, but just in popular culture. You get very similar things coming out at around about the same time. So it's going to be interesting to see how
Armageddon and Deep Impact.
Yeah, that was the other one. There was always two. What was the year that what was the film? Was it Contact? Was that the film with Matthew McConaughey? Was it Contact? There were two Alien movies that came out in the same year.
Jodie Foster.
Yes, time. Yeah.
Sphere, was it Sphere or something? Or
there's always two, and there's the two. The two. There's always like two movies that come out in the same year that are almost exactly the same. And there's just one. Yeah, Curtis said Volcano and Dante's Peak. That was the two that I was trying to think of. They came out at about the same time.
I saw Dante's Peak in the theater. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Don't know why I went, oh, wow.
I think it's Joe Dante directed that too, which is funny.
Is it? Oh, interesting. Yeah, Leroy's right. Contact and The Sphere were the two that came out around about the same time. But it tends to happen quite a lot. And I really do distinctly remember the year that Captain America: Civil War and Batman vs Superman came out at the same time, thinking that it's really interesting because they're very similar movies, and they're like in just, I suppose, very similar movies in like their plots are vaguely similar. It's two superheroes fighting each other, but done in very, very different ways. And I actually like both of them. I really like both of them. But yeah, so do let me know what you think about all of this. Kazakh says, Edward, are you a Warner Brothers shilling Hamada Burger? I'm really...
Hamada Burger. Hamada Burger. Hamada Spoon.
Hamada Spoon.
So that's
Jeez, is that true?
That's delightful.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my check from Warner Brothers as we speak. But yeah, Kaz, I know you're just joking. That all's good. And something just fell behind me. What the hell was that? That was weird.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, I've got a ghost or something. Wait, I need to continue. We have to continue on with the show. It's a haunted flat I live in now. Yeah, but is this you, Kazakhs? But do let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. Now, I think we'll move on. We'll move on to another little news story that we posted up on Small Screen. Was it yesterday? And that's that Grant Gustin of the CW's Flash will apparently cameo in the Flash movie. So this is quite interesting because we already, if you watched Crisis on Infinite Earths, the crossover, you would have noticed that there was a pretty cool scene between Ezra Miller's Flash and Grant Gustin's Flash where they meet. It was a very short but quite sweet moment in the movie. And apparently what we were told is that Grant Gustin was actually seen on the set of the Flash movie. Now, we reached out to his publicists, we reached out to his agents, Grant Gustin's agents, about this, and we actually, I'm going to be completely honest with you, they said that they didn't want to comment on it. They said that well, it's going to be, I mean, it's always this sort of thing that happens always, but then we were able to actually get this verified by another source, which was quite interesting. And it seems as though this is actually going to happen. And if it does, I actually think this is kind of the fan service that fans will like, because the Flash now has been going on for how many seasons? It's in its 8th season now, I think. And it's one of those shows that's actually been pretty solid for as long as it's been on air. It's one of the CW shows that I actually think is really quite good. And Grant Gustin is actually, I think, he's a very good Flash. He's a very good Barry Allen. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't watched the last, I think, 2 seasons of the show. It seems as though people are quite receptive to them. I kind of ended, I think I stopped at around, season 6, I think was the last season I watched. But I was really, really into it. I'll probably get back on it again. But kudos to actually Geekosity that posted, when was it, James? Was it back in April? They posted, they posted that the Flash movie to run through the Arrowverse. So so Mikey Sutton was saying that that the movie is going to go through some of the Arrowverse, so we'll get some of the characters from Arrowverse, which is, I mean, if this is, again, I don't know anything about that specifically, but this is the kind of thing that fans, I think, will really probably appreciate quite a lot. It's, again, this movie, this Flash movie to me sounds like it's quite full. I mean, you've got 2 versions of Batman in it. You've got possibly 2, if not 3, I think 3 versions. I think there are 2 versions of the Flash in the little kind of teaser they posted, wasn't there? I think that was another version of the Flash. So possibly 3 versions of the Flash. There are rumors that we're going to get to see apparently in old footage. We'll see Henry Cavill Superman in TV footage, according to some rumors. Again, I don't know, but I suppose we're only really going to know what's going to happen in this movie until the movie's released. But what we're told is that Grant Gustin has been seen on set, so presuming that he will cameo in the movie or make a cameo in the film, and he's filming scenes on the set. So let me know what you guys think about that. Again, I don't know. I think because I ended the show at season 6, I did watch the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover because I heard that Ezra Miller was going to be in it. So I wanted to watch that. I wanted to see how all that happened. It was really quite good, actually.
I stopped halfway through season 7.
Yeah, I couldn't. I
don't know.
It
got really dry and really slow moving. But every time there's a Crisis crossover episode, I have to catch up and I binge it, but I didn't do it this year. I didn't hear much about the crossover episodes this year either, so I was thinking about it. But so if you guys have seen it, let us know, please, if we should watch it or not.
There's just so much stuff to watch, and with those shows, they do go on for a very long time, and they are a lot of episodes. And
there's so much stuff to watch, and here I am watching The Wire again for the 3rd time.
I'm watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine again. I think I've watched that now for the 3rd time. I just love that show. But I've heard okay, so Krypton's Core says season 7 was awful.
What's up, Krypton's Core? Good to see you here again, brother.
I didn't watch it. But Geek Studio, let's bring up what Geek Studio said. He says it'd be cool to see Grant be on the big screen. Lol, remember Warner Brothers announced Ezra Miller as the Flash on the show premiere, and Steven was angry. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember they announced. Yeah, that was weird. Because honestly, I do like Ezra Miller as the Flash, but I think Grant Gustin's Barry Allen is a bit. I don't know. I kind of prefer him in a weird way. The way he plays it in the show is like very televisual. It's very much done for TV. But I do like Grant Gustin in that role, in that version of the Flash. I think he works. Ezra Miller I think he was very good actually in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, Justice League was cut down to basically nothing, and Ezra Miller's lines in that were all changed, and his jokes were pretty awful in that movie. But so it's a bit, I think it'll be a bit harsh to kind of critique him based on that movie. And I did like him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I did think he was good, but it's kind of I think James really liked his version, actually, Ezra Miller's version, but he plays it a bit weird, which I get.
Really?
Yeah, didn't you really like the way Ezra Miller played the Flash in Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I didn't like him in 2017 Justice League, but I did like him in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I thought they really got. I like that representation too. But as an old school comic fan, is that Barry Allen? No, but it's a good interpretation of Barry Allen in the Snyderverse. Yeah,
and I do think that. Yeah, I do think that Grant Gustin's Barry Allen is more true to the comics. Don't you think?
Except
No?
for screwing everything up all the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
God damn it,
he does
Barry.
he does screw everything up all the time, doesn't
three
he? And
times
he's
a
he's a
season,
bit
he always-
whiny. He's a bit whiny.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like them both, but I just think they were really in the Flash. They were really coming, excuse me, into a good part. They were really coming into their own and finding a really good feel for the series. I think around season 5 or 6, but unfortunately, they started relying back on the teenage drama again, and it just got too dry and too slow. It's like, nah, I can't keep up with it. It's not exciting to me anymore. And there, through the other seasons, there was slow moments as well where you drop off, and Arrowverse was like that, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw you posted an article, Naomi being in the crossover. I never even heard of that show before, so maybe.
Yeah, so Naomi's actually, that's the show that Ava DuVernay's the exec producer, and she said that there's going to be no Arrowverse crossovers in Naomi season 1. So she said, in terms of crossovers, we're not thinking about that right now. She's on her own path, and I really think that this is the first part of the Naomi-verse, and that people need to be trying to cross over here. You won't see any crossovers in season 1. That's not there. Naomi is firmly set in a story, and we're focused on that journey. So if I don't know, James, you might not be familiar with the Naomi comics. I wasn't until I heard that. Actually, I haven't read any of the comics, but I wasn't familiar with this particular comic before it was announced that Ava DuVernay was going to be doing this new show for the CW. But basically, so Naomi follows the story of a girl in a northwestern town, and she's exploring the multiverse. So there's like a supernatural incident in her town, and she goes to explore, investigate what happens, and it basically ends up a whole load of supernatural stuff happens, and she ends up being going through different multiverses and stuff like that. So it sounds like a pretty good premise for a show, to be honest. And Ava DuVernay is brilliant. And I was actually really looking forward to her.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to seeing what she did with New Gods. She was working on the script with Tom King, I believe. And I'm a massive fan of Tom King. If you haven't read his Miracle Man comic, that is bonkers, but really good. Really, really good. Very clever writing in that comic. So I was really looking forward to seeing what she would do with that. But that's one of the projects that was scrapped, unfortunately. But yeah, Ava DuVernay's going to do this. So someone with as much clout as she has in the industry doing a show for the CW, which has its problems. It looks like the CW is going to be sold, which is going to be interesting, because apparently Warner Brothers makes more money out of licensing their shows than they do actually broadcasting them, which is weird. Basically, they because the CW is only available in America, I think, in North America. I don't know if it's available in Canada. I mean, all the shows are filmed in Canada. I don't know if the CW is actually available over there.
There's no CW network in Canada. It's on CTV and Space Channel sometimes.
Oh, CTV's Canadian. I see. So now I'm not saying you do this, but when I used to watch The Flash, because it wasn't available in France in English, so I used to have to download it, and it was always a cut. It was always a cut with had CTV in the top right hand corner. So now it's the Canadians that were putting them up on piracy sites. Oh dear! And I just revealed that I used to pirate The Flash and Arrow.
Yeah, but what you would do when you're 12, it's okay. We'll leave it at
that. Yeah. But yeah, so this Naomi series is coming. I don't even know when it's going to premiere. It's premiering relatively soon, I think. And it's got a pretty interesting cast. So I'm not going to go through all of them now, but they're people that have been in stuff like Orange is the New Black, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Grey's Anatomy, Gotham. Will Myers from Gotham's in there. So we'll have to wait and see how it is. Again, if someone like Ava DuVernay is involved, I hope it'll be good. And then it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the CW. further down the line? If they end up selling it, who do they sell it to? What happens to all of those DC Comics TV shows that are on there? What happens to all of those shows? Whether or not they'll just sell the network and keep the rights to all, like, who would buy that though? Who would just buy the CW and not have any of the TV shows that come with it? That'd be a weird sale. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Again, as I said before, they make more money from licensing their shows than actually having them on their own network, which is why, for instance, in certain territories, you might find some seasons of The Flash on Netflix, for instance. One thing I've heard people say is it's all going to just move over to HBO Max. I'm not sure if that will happen because, I mean, it would make sense to have that content on their own streaming platform because, you know, HBO Max is always at the moment part of Warner Media, but it might be more economically sensible to continue carrying on with this licensing strategy, which apparently brings in a lot of money for them. Curtis in the chat saying Disney. I don't think Disney will buy the CW. I think they've got enough. I think they're all right. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think in the comments. Right, what's next on the agenda? We do have. Should we move away from DC stuff?
Kaz made a great point that The Boys season 3 is going to be coming out in June. So I'm excited.
Yeah, June. Yeah, because there were rumors that it wasn't going to be out until December. Before that was what people were saying. June is good because it's not too far. It's not too far away. It's relatively far. It's not too far. And I actually for season 1, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Season 1 of The Boys I loved. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I need to get on that because apparently it's incredible. The Boys, the first season, was one of the most I don't know, weirdly I just felt like this was kind of so even though it's not the first time that we've seen like an R-rated version of a comic book. Again, if you've read the comic, it's very violent, so it's really the only way they could have done it. But yes, it's the same people that it's so it's Seth Rogen producing, wasn't it? And can't remember the name of the guy he produces with, but they also did Preacher
Eric
before
Kripke,
that.
Supernatural.
Is it? Oh, okay. So, but isn't Seth Rogen an exec producer on it?
100%.
Yeah. So they're the ones that they also did Preacher before this. And I really think season 1 was just incredibly special because we've seen R-rated stuff in comic book movie genre before, Deadpool, for instance, but nothing quite like nothing like The Boys. It was kind of the perfect mixture of seeing how far you can take the R-rated content without ruining the content. It's very gory, very gory. Apparently season 2 is even worse. Lots of heads exploding. Apparently I've seen a lot of the clips. I love Homelander. I'm blanking on the Australian actor's name that plays Homelander. Is his last name Scott? I need to get that up, Boys, because he is brilliant. And then it's the Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr. I was thinking an S name, and he is fantastic. Carl Urban is just brilliant as Billy Butcher. I love Jack Quaid as well. Everyone in this show is.
You haven't
really
seen
good.
Season 2?
Not yet.
Oh
Not yet.
man, see,
I need to see season 2.
Season 1 was a special beast, lightning in a bottle, eh? But honestly, I like season 1, but I thought season 2 really, really did it well. I think they came into their own there, and I don't want to spoil anything, but like there's something that happens in the last episode, and I really liked it. The music was well timed. Yeah, I think season 2, I really enjoyed it more than season 1, and season 1 was great. And I've read the Boys series by Garth Ennis and Derek Robinson at least half a dozen times, and all the spin-offs, and we're going to be getting what is this story arc in season 3 where all the superheroes have orgies and stuff? We got some of that in season 2, but I think we're really going to have it in season 3. It's going to be really good. I really.
And isn't the new character they're bringing in? Isn't he basically the Boys' universe's version of Captain America?
Yeah. Soldier Boy, with Jensen Ackles.
Soldier Boy.
That'll be great. And that's why
Yeah.
Bobby from Supernatural plays a role in The Boys too. Like Eric
Yeah.
Kripke is bringing over his actors.
Which is good, apparently, because again, Supernatural is not a show that I've watched, but apparently it's really good, and that ended recently, didn't it? Supernatural. So it's going to be sorry, interesting to see what happens there with The Boys season 3 coming June. I think it's June 3rd. I want to say the third season, not last season, hopefully not last season of The Boys. It's honestly, as far as these comic book shows go, this is the best one. Like season 1, even though I haven't seen season 2 yet, I need to get on it. But season 1 was by far the best season of a comic book show I've ever watched, and that includes like Daredevil, The Punisher, all those shows as well. And also, I really loved Watchmen as well, but I think The Boys is better, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Well, I need to. I'm going to start watching season 2 probably next week. Actually, I'm going to get on that pretty quickly. Great, but do let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. If you want, are you looking forward to The Boys? Do let me know. Right, James, I think we should move on to. Let's pick a new subject. The Book of Boba Fett.
It's okay with me.
So I know you wanted to talk a little bit about this, James. The Book of Boba Fett. First off,
it's getting a lot of hate.
I know, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. What have you thought of the first two episodes so far?
I liked the first episode. I was disappointed.
I know. I'm pretty sure you would have been, because it's your man. It's your boy.
Yeah, it's Robert Rodriguez. I kept wondering throughout the episode if he was the one directing it or not. And I don't want to sound like a broken record about lighting and stuff like that, but it's just even in episode 2, they pulled that assassin up in front of Boba Fett, and he's got that cap on, right? Not a speck of dirt on it whatsoever. Okay. All right. And I'm not being nitpicky here, but it just takes me out of watching the experience, because he just got in a fight, right, with Ming-Na Wen, and he's going to be all dusty. They live on a sand planet, for Pete's sake, Boba Fett's armor looks very plasticky.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be old, right?
Yeah, but he cleans it up at the end of The Mandalorian season 2.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to know how much time has passed from the Sarlacc pit till he got the armor, because he must have gone on a big carb diet or something and gained a lot of weight. The whole fight scene in the first episode where they have the shields around them,
they're really clunky.
They were so clunky, and that really surprised me with Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, because it's Robert Rodriguez.
That really reminded me of him. But all in all, I'll give it maybe a 5 out of 10 for the first episode.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.
6.5 out of 10. I like where the story's going. I really like the backstory a lot more than what's going on in our present day.
I don't know. I'm more interested in the present day, because I want to see more of the Hutts, and I want to see more of that Wookiee bounty hunter that a lot of people are saying is a character from the non-canonical comics, I think is what they were saying.
Well, that Wookiee is awesome. I cheered when I saw that. Yeah. I can't remember his name right now, but I cheered.
He's another bounty hunter, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been in the Darth Vader, I think it was his 2015, 2016 arc. He was a small part, but hopefully we see more of him. There's 4 episodes of this series.
It's 7 episodes long, I think.
Okay. So there's still more to go, but first impressions, I'm not too impressed, but I don't think it deserves all the hate. But again, instant critical bash online, right? That's what happens all the time. I mean, if Star Trek: The Next Generation came out when Twitter was around, it wouldn't have lasted 1 season. But thankfully, it got better in the second and third season, and it became one of the best shows of all time, in my opinion. Now, it's really sad for me to say that I think the second episode was directed better than the first episode. I think Rodriguez played it safe, and there was a few shots that I recognized that was out of his toolkit, but they weren't maximized properly to the way he usually does it. Yeah. So I'm giving it a chance still, but it's that whole Disney lighting, clean. Everything's clean. Everything's well lit.
Yeah, I was
Everything
really
is
thinking it looks like a set.
yeah, because it is, right? They shoot it
No,
on
but
the big.
yeah, but not yes, but not normally. Whenever I've watched like The Mandalorian or something like that, it didn't
It was
feel like
done
that.
better. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
done better. And everything is like, even the costumes, when they're made to look like they're worn and dirty, they don't look like it. They look like
no,
brand new costumes and like maybe a few tears, but that's it. I don't understand. We don't get that. It just takes me right out of the escape of being transported into a sci-fi landscape. You know, it's like when I tried to watch Game of Thrones the first time, I watched the first episode and the CG castles and all that and the lighting. It's just like, wow, this is really taking me out. And the forest people that were attacking, that was cool. But I was like, I never continued with it. So I'm not gonna bash it because I don't think it deserves it. It's only 2 episodes, but I am disappointed with it, and I hope they pick it up. You know, I mean, I remember watching The Mandalorian, and the second
it's
episode
the same
directed by
thing for me.
Dave Filoni was good, but it wasn't up there. But it got better.
Yeah.
You know,
The Mandalorian took time. I honestly think if you watch it back, The Mandalorian takes a couple of episodes to get going. But it does have that really good scene at the end of the first episode, when you have the reveal that what he's tasked to take is Grogu, is Baby Yoda, and that scene with the IG-11,
yeah,
it is very good. And I think this has lacked that. Even the train scene, I was just really puzzled by that, because I was like, what are the Tusken Raiders doing? Like, so surely if they know there's a train coming, why the hell do they bother shooting at it? Because I was watching that, I was like, surely the most sensible thing to do is just hide behind the massive dunes, the sand dunes that you've got. Why shoot at the train? That I really
or
didn't
like
get that.
they have to be there for like in that vicinity because of the water fruit or whatever. I understand that, but I agree with you. Hide, you know.
Yeah.
It's.
I mean,
and then
again,
even
there wouldn't be a set, a sequence then, I suppose. But
I get it's like a corporation coming in on to the indigenous population. I get that, but when they took over the train, I agree with you. It was kind of boring. I think the only time I was like, oh, okay, now it's interesting is when Boba Fett fell down on the platform on the side of the train. That reminded me of Indiana Jones and Last Crusade. I was like, okay, more of this, please. More stakes, right? But we're not getting stakes in the show. We know like what's going to happen. Like, we don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, it just doesn't feel like there's any risks or anything. So
I felt like just when I was watching, I think the first episode, I was more down on it than I was expecting to be, because I was really hoping for, like, because it's Robert Rodriguez, it's Boba Fett, great character. Tamara Morrison's really good in it. I actually think he's really good. Like, you see him doing quite a bit of acting, which I've wanted to see from him for quite some time, because I think he is actually a really underrated actor. But it all feels a bit forced at the moment. Like all the scenes with the Tusken. I mean, I watched it with Alessia, with my wife, and she was just like, "This is boring." And I was like, "Oh no!" And I know Alessia's not like the target audience. She's not a massive Star Wars fan. But I was kind of like, I do agree with you. Like, I was, all that. I get what they're trying to do. I get that there's like there's a message here, of wanting to preserve culture and things like that. But I was just a bit like, it's a bit too on the nose. And I know that if this show doesn't pick up, the person that's going to get it in the neck, it's not from vocal fans online, is not going to be Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau. It's going to be Kathleen Kennedy. And I can just see that.
I disagree with you on that. I don't think it was on the nose. I think it was done subtly. Like it was, and it's a Western vibe. So there's a train, right? Why they said they were shooting at the Tuskens to protect the route and stuff. Yeah. But
here's a lizard. Put up your nose. Go and get a branch.
Right. But I will say that Boba Fett, like his facial expressions when he's fighting with the mask on, he's just got that crazy furious look. and that's great.
Yeah.
But
the best we've seen of him in that was the other Robert Rodriguez episode in the
the premiere
Mandalorian.
episode of Boba Fett in the Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, that was the
that
best. That was Robert
Brilliant.
Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought the show was going to look like that. But
yeah,
it
me
doesn't.
too.
I don't
It doesn't.
understand
It
why.
was the editing was really weird. I'm going to say in the first episode,
Mm.
really weird. It took me out of it completely. And it's like the best editing is the editing you don't notice. When you
Mhm.
start noticing it, that's when you know that something's wrong. So I do wonder whether that episode might have been rushed a bit.
I wonder if they didn't let
Or it was
Rodriguez
cut up.
edit. I think they probably didn't let Rodriguez edit the first episode because he usually does his own editing, and maybe he couldn't be in edit bay with the editor, and the editor didn't know what he was doing. I'm looking right now and see who the editor
maybe.
was.
It's a bit. I mean, you can you can talk about that better than I can because you're a fantastic editor.
Stop it.
It's true, but I was really puzzled by it. I do really like one thing I do love about this is the sound. Is that like I think they've nailed it in all of these Star Wars shows, but I do love the Boba Fett theme tune.
Mhm. It's
That kind
great.
of it's really good.
So the editor he did 6 episodes on The Mandalorian.
Mm.
He didn't do, I don't think he did the Book of Boba Fett one. He edited some Cobra Kai episodes. He edited Eastbound and Down. He edited the pilot episode of Young Sheldon.
Okay, so it's a TV
Us and Them. Sarah Silverman program. Like a lot of non-action stuff,
But he did how many episodes of The Mandalorian?
6. He
That's
did the
quite a
first
lot.
episode of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that's the case is because Robert Rodriguez shoots with an editor's mind, right? And if he wasn't there in the edit bay to help this editor and pseudo edit, then it can get very clunky. And that makes sense because Rodriguez is also executive producing the series.
Yeah.
He's
He's the executive producer. It's all. I think Jon Favreau's written most. No, Dave Filoni's written a couple of episodes. So the next, I think that there's one of the episodes that Dave Filoni wrote. Because I suppose one of the things we're going to talk about is the fact that Tamara Morrison said he kind of revealed that there's going to be a top secret Star Wars cameo in episode 7. Who do we think that is? I wonder. But
Rodriguez is only directing 1 episode in this series, just the first one.
Yeah, he's the executive producer on the show. Is it one? Wait, the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now. Yeah, so and Favreau written by. He did 2 episodes, first and second. Jon Favreau. Yeah.
No. Robert Rodriguez directed 2 additional episodes.
Which ones? Because on IMDb it only shows the 1.
And he's writing 2. He's directing 2. That's what it says.
Maybe
he's directing 2.
Yeah, maybe the last one.
So Jon Favreau is directing 1. Bryce Dallas Howard's directing 1. Dave Filoni's directing 1, and Kevin something I can't pronounce that last name is also directing 1. Tancheron. So wait, how many is it? 1, 2. If that's right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 7 episodes. So Rodriguez is directing another one, or has directed another one.
Hopefully, it'll be the season finale, and he really stops playing it safe. But Filoni hasn't written any episodes. Yeah.
Has he not? Have they all been written by Jon Favreau?
Just the first 2.
Just the first 2. So Filoni hasn't written any of. Okay. I heard that
Noah Kluwer wrote 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. He's on staff writer. He wrote Alien Christmas, Enlightened, The Wake, and Amazing Cartwright, and Sleigh Bells.
Okay, because I heard that that Dave Filoni had written one of them, or maybe he's just directing one, and it's the one that he directs that people think will have the big. So he might end up directing the finale. Actually, Dave Filoni.
Barry, stay safe, okay? Get well, get lots of rest. And I just gotta say before we get too deep into this, Bobby, you see, this is the boys right here.
Wow.
That's the boys.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah. But yeah, who do you think is the secret Star Wars cameo? Let's do some theorizing. Who could it be?
Well, reports are it's Han Solo.
Yeah. Well, that comes from the Daily Mail. Do we believe the Daily Mail? Like, would it make sense?
I thought it came from Giant Freaking Robot.
No, it was Daily. Oh, it might have been Giant Freaking Robot.
Or no, they did the whole "our scoop is confirmed" because someone else reported it thing.
Oh, probably. Yeah. But would it make sense to have a de-aged Harrison Ford? Why not just get Alden Ehrenreich in?
Yeah, they could do that, or they could go with what's his name? Everyone wanted.
Oh, the guy that does Harrison Ford and Robin Williams.
Yeah,
I can't
actually have a 2 degrees of separation with him.
We should get him on the show.
He was my old best friend's friend. I talked to him a few times on Facebook. Yeah, it was really sad that he didn't get the solo role because he was really good.
He is. He's actually he's a much better actor than people give him credit for because he did that Robin Williams, Mork and Mindy thing. Like when
that was him.
That was him.
No way.
Yeah. That was. It's the same
I didn't
guy.
make that connection.
If I'm thinking of the person that you're thinking of, he's the one that does the Harrison Ford Han Solo stuff, and he does the Robin Williams stuff. It's the same guy. He's really, really good as playing those two specific characters, Robin Williams and Harrison Ford, and whatever they do, really.
Anthony Gruber. That's who it is. Anthony, have you ever seen his impressions?
Yes. Well, it was this back. This was a while ago, no?
Yeah, he was in Age of Adeline too.
Ah. Well, he would be.
He played a young Harrison Ford in Age of Adeline. He was good in it. That's why.
Did he?
And there was a huge campaign to get him as Harrison Ford, as Han Solo. So, but I mean, so if they do this Han Solo back at the end of Book of Boba Fett, it's just replicating the end of Mandalorian season 2, don't you think?
Yeah. Which I think is something. It's a trope that they seem to be leaning on a bit, and a bit too much for my liking, to be honest. In these Star Wars shows, it's like, how do we end it? Let's end it with like a kind of a legacy Star Wars character turn up, so like a Princess Leia, or which they did at the end of Rogue One, or Mark Hamill, which Mark Hamill's Luke Skywalker, which they did at the end of The Mandalorian season 2, and then they did a whole film about Han Solo, and I thought it was good. People didn't like it. I actually really like Alden Ehrenreich in it. I think
Solo was a fun movie. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, and I thought
to live up to these expectations.
Yeah, and I've seen. Oh, so JLS Comics says, I hope it's. So is it Kira? Is that how Kira? You pronounce her name?
Kira or Dr. Dr. Afra would be really cool.
Dr. Afra would be really cool. And Dr. Afra's like a name that's been kind of knocking around now for quite some time. Like people saying that she's going to get her own show and stuff. Like, who knows? Who knows that she's a really good character. If you haven't read the comics, they're very good. Great.
Yeah, especially the Vader run where she's
the Vader run.
With the Imperial droids, which are absolutely hilarious.
Missa. Jar Jar showing up at the end of both. You know what? Bring back Jar Jar Binks. It's about time. It's about time.
Sith arc. Give him the Sith arc.
Yes, give him the Sith arc, and give him better lines. Because I feel really bad. I can't remember the actor's name, but I do feel really bad for him because he's had so much just crap for so long about playing Jar Jar Binks, and it had nothing to do with him. He was just playing a role. He was doing what he was told.
There's a lot of love for him now.
Yeah. There is, because again, wasn't it? I was watching an interview with Andy Serkis, Darth Binks, I was watching him an interview with Andy Serkis, and when they asked him who is the best, who do you see as being like the most important actor in is it motion capture at the time, or and he said him. I can't remember his name now. The actor that played Jar Jar Binks, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so, but he said
you got to do the whole Joe Rogan thing. Like, James, look that up.
Yeah.
Who's the
Throw it
actor
to James
who played Jar Jar Binks? James, look it up. Now, isn't it crazy that our toenails and fingernails grow at a different rate? Wow.
Well, I used to listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, but he's kind of gone off the ball recently.
Ahmed Best.
Yeah.
Ahmed Best.
Oh dear. But I do feel a bit bad for James in some of those.
So, no, his name is actually Jamie. But
is it Jamie? Yeah, it's Jamie. Yeah, throw it to Jamie. Jamie, pull it up.
Yeah, the actor's name is Ahmed Best. Yep.
Ahmed Best. Okay. Yeah, but the thing about this is I'm pretty sure, like, I'm probably about 70% sure it's going to be Han Solo. Because there are all those arcs in the non-canonical Star Wars comics of Han Solo and Boba Fett actually ending up becoming allies, and I see a lot of similarities that they're bringing characters like Grand Admiral Thrawn into canon, and they tend to pick and choose from the stuff that came before it. So they'll pick like the very best stuff. I don't know what I genuinely think there's a ghost in here or something. Because
you know what it is? I think it's that lamp behind you heating up.
Oh,
it's the new lamp you got.
It's new. It's not hot. It's LED, so it shouldn't heat up like that.
Well, it's just settling down. Or maybe it's Kaz. He's like got a pellet gun going through the window.
Yeah. Maybe.
The moment you started talking good things about WB, he like took a flight.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are a lot of people that will. You'll just see red dots appearing on my forehead. a whole load of them. Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, as far as cameos are concerned, I don't really want to speculate about it too much because I'm a bit like I just want to watch it. Because I remember like when watching The Mandalorian season 2, the final episode, I was in tears, and it doesn't happen to me a lot. But I was in tears when Luke Skywalker turns up.
Luke Skywalker showed up.
Yeah. Even though he looked pretty bad, but it was all I wanted. Jedi Master EJ says Thrawn. I don't. Could this lead into the Ahsoka series? Maybe.
You know what? That's a good point.
Because we do know that's coming up next. So that wouldn't be a million. But then again, what would he be? Because I'm pretty sure this whole series is just going to take place on Tatooine. What would Thrawn be doing?
But they don't look dirty. They don't look sandy. They're on a sand planet, and everything looks freaking.
That wasn't me. That was he. He cuts himself off all the time. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think. I think Jedi Master EJ. I think Thrawn is a good shout. If not Thrawn, then maybe Ezra Bridger or someone like that turning up at the end. That would make sense actually that it would be as Thrawn or Ezra Bridger, because if the final episode is directed by Dave Filoni, he would want to be the director that brings those characters into live action. He did it with Ahsoka Tano. So it makes sense for him to do it with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Oh, that would be so cool. God, I can't wait to see him in live action. I really cannot wait. Let me know. Curtis says maybe Batfleck. Oh dear. And Jedi Master EJ says, like I said, I'm using the Force to pack up Edward's Star Wars items and ship them over to my house. Now, actually, I got all of these up. Yeah, these are, but over there, it's a shame. I'm not going to be able to show it to you because I got to take the camera down to show it to you. But I got an original. No, is it? Yeah, it's an original French poster of the very first Star Wars film. It's called La Guerre des Étoiles, and I love it. But it was too. I should have put it there. Actually, I should have put it back there. that's silly of me. I should have done that. But Billy Roberts is in the chat saying, "Hey boys, hey Billy Roberts, I hope you're fine." Again, maybe Batfleck might turn up. Who knows? Maybe Batfleck. But it's a show that I think James is right. It's like I think it's going to it's a slow build, and I'm hoping that by the end of like this season, I'm hoping not everyone's going to kind of tail off completely. That's the thing about this that could be quite dangerous. Is if you start the show slow, it could, no matter how good it is at the end, you've probably had like a 60% drop off from the premiere. Again, though, the premiere apparently it had a bigger premiere than some of the Disney Plus Marvel series. So
Yeah,
people
but
are watching it.
If they really nail it, the hype will hit, and everyone will binge it. You know, kind of like with WandaVision. I just wanted to really quickly say. JLS says, I feel like the show is too grounded underworld for someone like Thrawn to show up as much as you'd love for that to happen. But again, we still got 5 episodes to go, and the Hutts just showed up, so it could really increase exponentially with the levels of society that it takes place in. So we're not sure.
But all I'm saying is that would it make sense for someone like Thrawn to be on Tatooine? Because it does make sense for the Hutt twins, to be on Tatooine. Again, though, I was thinking about this while I was watching it. I was like, well, what the hell? Why were they letting Bib Fortuna or Bib? He's such a stupid character. But never mind. But what was the point of waiting that long? Is it just the fact that it was Boba Fett? You know, former bounty hunter that takes over the what do they keep on calling it? He keeps on using. They keep on using a word referring.
It becomes like a daimon,
yeah, that's the word that they keep on using, isn't it? So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen again? The rumor that's out there is that it's going to be Han Solo. I think Han Solo would make sense in a certain way because the character is tied somewhat to Tatooine. He is tied in the non-canonical Star Wars stories to Boba Fett as well. And he was, I mean, even though he was blind at the time, he was there at his supposed death, Boba Fett's supposed death at the Sarlacc pit. Also, what did you guys think of the beginning of Boba Fett being predicted by Patton Oswalt? I think it was in an episode of Parks and Rec. I think that was the scene that a lot of people are posting back online. Well, apparently, what the writers did was they just copied what he said.
It's not hard to predict, though, right?
No, it's not.
Like
but
how else would he get?
He predicted
he's in the guts of the Sarlacc monster, and then what other people walk around besides Jawas and Sand People, Tusken Raiders?
I think it was more the fact that he literally described the camera angle. And everything, and so but they clearly just took what he said and did it, and that's because Patton Oswalt is a massive Star Wars fan, geek, nerd, and everyone loves Patton Oswalt, don't they? I think he's great. And does he have a? Is he?
He was in The Mandalorian.
Was he in The Mandalorian? Yeah, he was in The Mandalorian. He was in one of them, wasn't he? And also, you were asking me who Matt Berry plays. He plays the robot.
Yeah,
doesn't he? He's the voice of the robot.
I looked it up. Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah, I think it's cool. But he's a bit of a mad robot, which I like as well. He's like, I think I do like the politics of the show as well. I think that's going to be an interesting side of things. So I'm interested to see what happens further down the line. Right. What else do we have to talk about? Should we go over some of the Andrew Garfield stuff?
It's your show, baby. Yeah,
it's
go ahead.
Okay, so the one I'll talk about. I'll talk about 2 of the stories that are up on. All these stories are up on small screen, by the way, and do like and subscribe. I haven't said that enough tonight. But Andrew Garfield did a big. God, you scared me. I think I'll just read on it. Yes, Andrew Garfield did a big. Stop it! Stop it! He did a big interview with Variety. And in that...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Yes, you did. There was a big interview in Variety with Andrew Garfield, and he talked. There's a lot of stuff he talked about, and we split it into many different articles on Small Screen. Actually, shout out to Martin Richmond, who wrote up a lot of those today. But so he talked about the prospects of playing Spider-Man again. And he said, I mean, yes, definitely open to something if it felt right. Peter and Spider-Man, those characters are all about service to the greater good and the many. He's a working class boy from Queens that knows struggle and loss and is deeply empathetic. I would try to borrow Peter Parker's ethical framework in that. If there was an opportunity to step back in and tell more of that story, I would have to feel very sure and certain in myself. Basically saying he would come back for another crack at Spider-Man, which I would love to see. And then, of course, the fact that he said this has kind of got, I think it's, is it Make Tassam 3 or something like that? Some hashtag trending. There's also Make Spider-Man 4. Make Raimi Spider-Man 4 is trending on Twitter as well. They're all trending on Twitter. But the other thing that Andrew Garfield revealed, and this was in another interview with Entertainment Tonight, is he actually revealed that he snuck into a cinema to watch a screening of Spider-Man No Way Home with Tobey Maguire. So he said, I still can't believe it happened. I snuck into a theater on opening night and just watched with my baseball cap on and my mask. In fact, I was also with Tobey. Me and Tobey snuck into a theater together and no one knew we were there. It was just a really beautiful thing to share together. Now that must have been amazing. Imagine being in that theater. Oh yeah, spoilers by the way. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man No Way Home. If you haven't seen it yet. And Garfield also revealed that he improvised the "I love you guys" line in Spider-Man No Way Home. So that's that very heartwarming scene where they all have a hug and Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker just looks at them, goes, "I love you guys." That was an improvised line and probably one of the best lines in the movie. But yeah, like this is something that I love listening to Andrew Garfield talk. I think he deserves an Oscar for all the denials he came out with during before the movie came out. That was brilliant to watch all of that, and then realize that he actually is in the movie. I think that for me was my one of my best moments, happiest moments in a cinema for a long time was seeing Andrew Garfield turn up in Spider-Man No Way Home. Oh my god, it was just such a great moment, and I squealed a bit. So Kazakh says, I just wanted to bring this up. They were masked in and outside of the movie. That's dedication. That's that's true. I didn't think about that, but that is true. So yeah, I think what I wanted to end on tonight, because I'll end the stream in about 10 minutes time. Oh yeah, and Jealous Comics, Garfield was great in Tick Tick Boom. I just watched that tonight. He is brilliant, and I'm not a massive fan of musicals, but I think he's really good in that. And I like the movie. My wife Alessia, by the way, her name is, and this is for Curtis. You spell it Alessi. Alessia. There you go. He asked about that earlier, but yeah, she didn't like it as much. She thought it was a bit boring. I think that's a theme with her. She finds things quite boring. Incidentally, I went to watch Licorice Pizza, which is Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie, and I thought that film was pretty weird. And I didn't like it very much. It's been getting very good reviews, but I really didn't like it all that much. And it's that film stars all three Haim sisters, the band Haim. Alana Haim is the lead, and it actually stars Cooper Hoffman, who is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son. And boy, does he look a lot like Philip Seymour Hoffman. They are very good performances in it, but I just felt that the story was a bit weird. It's basically a 28-year-old woman falling in love with a 15-year-old boy, which it's a bit of a weird thing to make a movie about. So I kept on feeling quite uncomfortable whilst watching that film. But yeah, I wanted to go over the official Small Screens top 10 movies of 2021. I actually wrote Small Screen's top 21 movies of 2021. So, James, I also want to know what your top 10 films were. So, what I'm going to do, James, is I'm going to go over my top 10, my top 21. I think, James, you're bringing up the the article as we speak, and then I wanted to know what James's were as well. So, do we have it, James? You had it up earlier. You were almost there. I saw you hovering over the article, and then you lost it. You have to go on to features, mate. So behind the scenes, I'm watching James scroll through the website, and he's not very good at there. It's there. It's the one with the pink. There you go. Right, should we bring that up now?
My favorite one was of 2021 was The Long Goodbye by Robert Alt.
When did that film actually come out?
It's okay with me.
Oh, is this where I'm supposed to say, what is all this about? And he says, shut up, I asked the question. Yeah.
1972, I believe.
Of course, James's top movie of this year was a movie from 1972. Oh dear. Right, so in at number 21, let's scroll down. So we have Raya and the Last Dragon. I actually really like this film. I thought it was good fun, and it's a good kids movie. Also, there you can see there's the really good Christmas video that James edited of our favorite Christmas movies. And in at number 20 is another film that I didn't expect to like, but I really did enjoy. It was Cruella.
Yeah, but look at that amazing intro that Kaz made.
Yeah.
That's what I was highlighting.
I know. So scroll down to there you go, number 20, Cruella. I really loved Emma Stone's performance in it. I thought it was fantastic, and I can't wait for the second one. Number 19 was Black Widow. I thought this could have been better. I'm going to be honest. I did enjoy it, but I was hoping for slightly better, which is a shame because I really wanted to see this movie for such a long time. And Scarlett Johansson is very good in it.
Had a great accent in that movie.
No, I said that I wish they hadn't cast Ray Winston in the film because his accent is terrible. Right, moving on to number 18, Army of Thieves. He can't do accents to save his life. No, he cannot. Right, Army of Thieves. I thought Army of Thieves was fantastic. Actually, I've watched it twice now, and I really, really enjoy that film. And I think it's better than Army of the Dead. So I really, really enjoyed that movie. And then in it, you can watch it right now on Netflix. Yes, you can. Eternals in at number 17. Now, I understand why people didn't like this film, but I had a really good time with it. I think it's a very interesting Marvel movie. It's a very different Marvel film from the ones I've seen before, and it's actually coming out in a couple of days on Disney Plus if you haven't seen it yet. And I would recommend you watch it.
I'm excited to finally watch it.
I really did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. And I love Kit Harington as Dane Whitman. I think that's just great casting. And also, I think what's his face? The one in there, the one that was in Game of Thrones. Richard Madden is one of the sexiest men alive and has a great Scottish accent. I'm glad they made him keep his Scottish accent in it. So sexy. Two of the sexiest people alive right there. Right. Scroll down to Parallel Mothers. That's the new film by Pedro Almodovar. And stars Penelope Cruz. A really, really good film. I love Pedro Almodovar. It's late. Almodovar. And it's really one of the best movies of 2021. If you haven't seen it yet, please do. And then it's available to stream on Netflix in Latin America. It's going to be in theaters, I think. I'll settle down. I just wanted to say Almodovar. I always get it wrong. Number 15 is Promising Young Women. So this is by Emerald Fennell, who actually ended up, she won, I think, the BAFTA for Best Screenplay. This film is really good. I really like this movie. And it stars Carey Mulligan. And when I was watching it, I was like, God, these two, Emerald Fennell and Carey Mulligan, should get together to do a DC Comics movie. And I think Carey Mulligan would be really good as a kind of maybe not Poison Ivy, but there are some characters in the DC Comics universe I would really like to see her play. I think they'd work really well together. And Promising Young Woman is brilliant. If you haven't watched it yet, do it now. You have to buy that, I think, or rent it on demand if you want to watch that. So number 14 is I Care a Lot. I'm a massive fan of Rosamund Pike, and I think this film is so good. It made me so angry. If you know anything about legal guardianships, then you'll know why, like, how horrible that is. The whole Britney situation's gone on pretty recently, and this film is about that. And I think she's one of the best villains in the movie this year. You can watch that on Netflix, I think, right now, and I think on Hulu in certain areas. It's a really good film. Do check it out. Number 13 is Palm Springs. I had such a good time with this film. It's basically Groundhog Day, but just with more Adam Sandberg. I really, really love this film. I know it is a bit of a kind of cliche movie, but I've watched it more times than any other movie. It's just a good movie to put on and have in the background. It's good fun, and it's available on Amazon Prime in Europe and I think Hulu in the US. So number 12, we have The French Dispatch. I remember you. Where are you scrolling down? Scroll down, James. Come on. Down, not up, down. Up, up. There you go. The French Dispatch, which is the new film by Wes Anderson, came out this year. It's not his best film by any stretch of the imagination. The Grand Budapest Hotel, I think, is one of his best. I love Moonrise Kingdom, and Royal Tenenbaums is brilliant as well. But The French Dispatch is fun. It's good. It's kind of one of his more whimsical films that he's done in a while. It reminded me a bit of what was the film he did? The one with Owen Wilson's in basically all of his movies. He's in this movie as well. But there was the one with the train. I'm forgetting the name. No, the one with Owen Wilson and the train. I think Luke Wilson might be in that film as well. Actually, I can't remember the name.
Darjeeling Limited.
Yes, the Darjeeling Limited. That was. It reminded me a bit of that. But I really, really liked it. I'm a massive Wes Anderson fan. If he's not your thing, then you won't like this movie. Right, scroll down to number 11. I can't remember. Oh, House of Gucci. I had a great time with House of Gucci, and best comedic performance of the year from Jared Leto. Had me in fits of hysterics during this movie. He's so weird. It's a very good-looking film as well. And Lady Gaga is brilliant, and I'm pretty sure she'll win the Oscar. Yeah, so yeah, you can watch it now in cinemas. Right, scroll down to number 10. A Quiet Place Part 2.
Can you stop telling me how to run my life, please?
Sorry, James. Quiet Place Part 2 is brilliant. John Krasinski is one of the most talented directors, I think, working at the moment. He's so good. And Quiet Place, I think the first film is still better, but this film really developed the world, and it's one of those sequels that you don't often see a sequel that is as good as the first film, and I think this is just there. It really was a pleasant surprise. Right, so number 9 is No Time to Die. I'm a massive James Bond fan, and I really like this movie. I liked the ending. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I really liked Daniel Craig's performance in it.
You can spoil it. Leroy Kong already spoiled it for us.
All right. Well, James Bond dies. I think it's really good. I think it's really, really good. I think Daniel Craig delivers his most human performance in this, and it ends his time as Bond perfectly. It literally kills him. But I also really like Léa Seydoux. I like the fact that I think the one problem with this film is the villain. It's not a very good villain. But this film wasn't about that. It was about James Bond. I'm really sorry, Geek Studios. He completely ruined it for him. He's like, I haven't seen it yet. Oh well. I'm sorry.
I didn't say the spoiling. I just said it was okay.
Yeah, okay, fine.
It's your
You
fault,
egged me
Edward.
on. I'm sorry.
No. If yeah. I don't know how you didn't hear that already, Geek Studios, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I don't want to rehash this, but Leroy decided to message me 6 days before the movie came out. And he's like, a lot of fans are going to be upset because Bond, blah, blah, blah. Like, all right.
They literally blow him up. It's like,
Well, he's not dead then.
He's definitely dead. Although they're recasting. It's the Look, Kazakhs, you did not get spoiled by me. You didn't. That's a lie.
Kazakhs knew. Kazakhs knew.
You're lying. Right, what's number 8? I forgot what I put at number 8. Oh yes, the Suicide Squad. I really like. I've said this for each. I honestly think James Gunn did a really good job with this movie. It's very James Gunn. It's cinematically really interesting. I do think a lot of the jokes are spoiled by all the promotional material that came out. They're literally all in. All the jokes are there. But I really like Idris Elba as he's he's not Deadshot. Oh shit! What's the character he plays? Come on, James, you gotta help me out. I've forgotten his name. Bloodsport. That's it. He plays Bloodsport in it. I think John Cena is actually really good as Peacemaker. I'm really looking forward to seeing the series. Apparently, that's good actually, and it's everything that I think Deadpool tried to be but wasn't, and that's why I really enjoyed it. I think Deadpool is kind of like the Suicide Squad light, like it's a good fun film. Let's be honest, it's a really good fun film. Right, what's number 7? Oh yeah, you can watch Suicide Squad on HBO Max.
Okay, Edward.
Yeah.
How can you put Shang-Chi over?
Oh my god,
Suicide Squad.
Because this was very close. I'm going to be honest. This was really close. I kept on like putting one above the other, and I think Shang-Chi. There was something. I always think back to how I felt whilst watching it, and maybe it was the fact that I watched it in like an empty cinema on my own, but I was just, I just could not stop smiling during Shang-Chi. Yeah, I know, Curtis. Yeah, whatever. This is what you're going to get from me. You're going to get my honest opinion. I was happy
James
as a pig in
Gunn
shit.
tried something new cinematically. Like it actually felt like a film. Shang-Chi, it's got that.
I know, but I'm a
Marvel
sucker. I'm a
cut.
sucker for the I don't know. There was just something about I really like Hong Kong movies, like Hong Kong. And yeah, I know a lot of people think Shang-Chi was trash. I don't think
I'm
it
the
was.
number one Hong Kong cinema martial arts fan.
Yeah, and I really liked it. And that scene in the what's it called, in the bus was just so good, and everything about
it was good, but the end scene with the big dragons and CGI fest and everything looks like it's on a set, and
I liked it.
Oh, we gotta have bamboo scaffolding because Jackie Chan did it in Rush Hour 2.
Yeah, you gotta have it. There are certain check boxes now you need to check, and that's one of them.
I thought it was a fun movie, but there's no way it's better than the James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I'm sorry.
Look, this is my list. All right, you're very welcome to have your opinion, but this is what I thought. I had
opinion. Thank you for valuing my opinion. I value yours, but you're just wrong in this respect.
Okay, fine. All right, I'm still leaving it. I'm not changing it. What's number 6?
I'm gonna go edit the article.
You're not editing.
Now.
You're not editing it. You're not
I'll
editing
put
it.
Shang-Chi at the top.
No, don't put Shang-Chi at the top. Right, Zack Snyder's Justice League in at 6. Great, honestly, it's a long film, but it's worth it, and it's one of those rare cases of a long movie that it earned it. It earned the its length, and I watched it in one go, which was probably mad. I do want to watch it again. I probably will wait until the end, like the middle of this year, to watch it again. I was lucky enough to see it on a pretty big screen again in a cinema on my own, and I had such a good time with it. And it's just it's like a piece of cinematic history, I think, as well. That movie. So yeah, really, really good. Loved it. Right, number 5.
I disagree. I thought
Oh yeah,
Aquafina was really great in that movie. To be honest with you.
I do get why people disliked her though in it. She can be a bit much, but I think she works in that film.
Oh yeah,
I
and
think,
her.
yeah.
I think her reactions, like her, it's just. I thought it was great. I thought she was great.
What's it? I can't remember what I put at number 5. Oh yeah, June. Oh dear. June. Cinematic. Like, I'm not going to say masterpiece yet, because one of the reasons I won't say it's a masterpiece is because part 2 is not out. So I don't think you can. This is June part 1. I think until part 2 comes out, I feel like I can't really critique this movie or rate this movie, because if part 2's out, comes out and it's rubbish, then this film will mean nothing really. But if part 2 comes out and it's incredible, and you get to watch both parts together, and it's just insane, it's just I do think this movie ends in a really weird place. That's one of the things I remember watching it, and I was thinking, really, this is where they're going to finish the film? Okay, I do want to watch it again, and I want to watch it in a cinema that's not like when I watched it in a cinema that was absolutely packed, and there was a person sitting next to me in the aisle. Literally, there are people in the aisle. They obviously oversold tickets, and everyone was wearing masks. It wasn't a pleasant experience, and despite that, I still came out of it thinking I've witnessed something which was genuinely spectacular. I think Denis Villeneuve is hands down one of the best directors working in Hollywood. I think he's probably the best, actually. His movies just look insane. And I think
it was a masterpiece.
A masterpiece? Yeah.
I think it was. I think it was good. No, it was nice to see an actual film, like a cinematic film come out. I mean, Zack Snyder's Justice League was like that too, and James Gunn tried that and with the comedy. But I mean, Dune, as a big fan of the books and a big fan of the David Lynch's film.
It was David Lynch.
Yeah, David Lynch's film. I always get the two mixed up. But I really enjoyed Dune, and it was great to get. I felt like I was in that world. I thought it was great. I thought maybe the flashbacks of Zendaya was a little bit too much, but other than that, I thought it was.
She looks good with blue eyes, though.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone does, right? With the spice eyes, so it was great. I really want to see the second one. I'm looking forward to it.
I really want to see this again. Actually, that's what I want to see. June again. What did I put number 4?
Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Maybe I'll watch it tonight again. That'll be fun. So yeah, he's gonna do part 2. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And it made me go watch the Sicario films too, which I had never seen.
Oh, Sicario! He only did the first one, but Sicario is so good. The second one was trash.
I liked the second one. I thought it was great. I watched it right after I watched the first one, and I thought it was a good continuation.
I was so disappointed by the second one. The second one was the right. Was it? Well, I thought it might have been the writer, because the guy that wrote Sicario. No,
Taylor Sheridan wrote.
Taylor
Sicario, and he's the writer and director of Yellowstone. Like, he's a great writer. But Stefano Sollima directed the second one. I thought it was good. I thought it was a great continuation. I really enjoyed it. It didn't have the same vibe, like same atmospheric vibe as Denis Villeneuve's, right? But they did use the same music cues, and that's where he really builds up his worlds, is by the music cues and the sound effects. His atmosphere is absolutely incredible. So.
But I was expecting more from the second. I don't know why, but I just was, and I felt a bit. I felt really let down by it, because Sicario is hands down one of my favorite movies. Like, I think Sicario is just. I watch it once every year, and I just love it. I think Emily Blunt's performance in it is incredible. I think all of them are so. I think Benicio del Toro is better in the first movie, a lot better in the first movie. He kind of plays it. It's too like, it's a bit too much in the second one, I think. I don't know. And the scene where he gets shot in the face yet survives is
I thought that was good too, and I knew it was gonna happen, but
yeah.
I don't know. Those movies are like right up my alley, so I don't know why I didn't watch Sicario until last year, but I'm glad I did. And your next one is a very awesome movie.
What is it? I can't remember. Cop Shop. Now go and check out our interview. Yeah, that's I put it in there with Kurt McLeod, the writer of Cop Shop. But Cop Shop is just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. The more I think about that movie, the better it gets. It's one of those films that kind of stays with you, and you really start to realize, like, when you're watching it, you're having I wouldn't say you're having a good time because it's quite tense, but you are enjoying it. But it's a film that gets better with age. It's like a fine wine, this movie, and it is. I get it. People saying it's basically John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13, but I've rewatched Assault on Precinct 13. And actually, this film's quite different because I rewatched it after we did the interview with Kurt.
Yeah,
and it's not. It's very good, Assault on Precinct 13, but it's not as character driven.
I'm a huge fan
as Cop Shop is.
John Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13. I watch it every year when I watch The Warriors, and I watch Escape from New York and The Thing.
Yeah,
and the Cop Shop, it gets that comparison, but I don't think it's warranted. It's its own beast. And yeah, and it's if you go watch Assault on Precinct 13, the original, and then you watch this one, you'll see whatever means what I mean, for sure. Great film. Really,
both very good films. Cop Shop, brilliant, really good. Definitely check it out, and check out our interview with Kurt as well. He was good fun. Number 3, Nobody. Whew. Now this film, I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't expecting it. It stars Bob Odenkirk, and he is terrific in it. I hope he's all right, because he had a heart attack pretty recently, didn't he? But it's a bit like John Wick. It is a bit like John Wick, but that's totally up my street. It's a really good fun action movie. It's very well directed. It is by the same people that did John Wick, so it shares that DNA, and you can tell. But there's something a bit, I don't know. I think the way now, don't take this the wrong way, but I think Bob Odenkirk's a better actor than Keanu Reeves, and I think his character in it is more interesting than Keanu Reeves' character is in John Wick, and I think that's one of the reasons why I actually think I preferred it to the first John Wick movie.
Well, that's because it's more relatable. Right?
Yeah, it's more related. It's more down to earth, and it is as if you're going to call a movie about a guy killing a load of people, like insanely down to earth.
But I mean, like,
that has Christopher Lloyd at the end. Yeah,
Family Man passed,
and he's not perfect. He's not perfect either. He's like I like how it's like he's a man that's having marital problems. You can tell
you really can't compare the two though, because John Wick is like an international superstar assassin.
Yeah.
It's like a superhero.
But there are lots of people that do, and you can understand why. It is a bit like John Wick. It is a guy that is very good at killing people, and that's there's that element to it. The action is quite similar, although John Wick is more kind of gung fu than this one. This film is a bit more, he's a bit different in the way he kills people, tends to blow them up a bit more. But yeah, it's a really good movie. If you haven't checked it out yet, do.
The next one, I'm gonna mute my audio. You just wave at me when you're done, because I haven't seen it yet, and I've avoided all spoilers.
Okay, all right. What is the next one? Yes. Okay. So many people have come up to me after this list and saying, "What is wrong with you?" Critics, mainly people I used to work with. Don't Look Up is. I wouldn't say a good time with this movie, but I had a bit of a moment with this film watching it, because I'm a massive fan of Adam McKay. I like a lot of the film, almost all of his movies. And what he's able to do here is it's about a comet coming to Earth and is going to destroy Earth, but it's actually a metaphor about the climate crisis and global warming. If you are into politics, if you're into Adam McKay's sort of brand of satirical humor, You will really like this movie. I think it's one of the best ones he's done in a long time, and it's on Netflix right now. You can go and check it out. Right, you can go down to number 1. Yeah, it's also really funny.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Number 1. I couldn't not have Spider-Man No Way Home at number 1. Mainly because it was it was the best moment I've had in the cinema all year. The best moment I've had in the cinema for a long time. And yeah, it's a fan service thing, but it was, for that moment alone, it had to be in my number 1 because it was everything that I wanted it to be. And I know there are plot holes. I know there are problems. I know what the hell is Jamie Foxx's Electro doing in that movie. I know, that there are issues with it. I know that the post-credit scene is annoying because it is, but it was everything I wanted it to be and more. And for that, it had to be number 1. Yeah, so there you have it. My top 21 movies of 2021. James. He's thinking.
Yeah, what's up?
Yes. No. I was going to say, what's your top movie of 2021?
Oh, I can't say a top movie.
But okay, what were your favorite films?
I liked Cop Shop. I liked Dune. I liked The Suicide Squad. I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. Spider-Man No Way Home was great. I enjoyed that. And Shang-Chi was fun. But no, it was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. It was kind of like a B for me in terms of Marvel. Yeah. And I enjoyed I think and I watched a bunch of movies throughout the year, and like there was one, I can't even remember if it came out last year or not. It was with Guy Pearce and Robert Pattinson, shot in Australia.
That was a lot. That was
I think that's 2017 or something.
Yeah, that was The Rover, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But I mean, I watch a lot of movies that aren't just that come out this year, and that's why I haven't seen Don't Look Up yet, and I haven't seen whatchamacallit. I don't know. Anyways, I really enjoyed Cop Shop. I really enjoyed Spider-Man No Way Home, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Suicide Squad, Dune. Can't wait for the second Dune. Yeah. And I finally watched Birds of Prey this year too, or last year.
Did you like it?
It was good. I liked it.
I thought it was good. Yeah, I think I didn't get the hate towards that film. I thought it was pretty good. As far as that I don't think it could have been any better than what it was.
And Matrix Resurrections. Thank you, CB3. I thought that was. I watched the original trilogy, and then I watched the fourth one, and I thought it was brilliant. That was really, really good. And I haven't seen Red Notice yet. So
Red Notice is on my top 10 worst movies of the year.
That's why I haven't watched it yet, because you told him I wasn't that interested in the first place. So, and Army of Thieves was great. I really thought Army of Thieves was well done.
Yeah, I really like Army of Thieves. I wasn't so mad about Army of the Dead.
Yeah,
I thought there were issues with that film, but I thought Army of Thieves was really good. Yeah.
Someone in the comments said Army of Thieves was basically aliens with zombies, and I've read that, and that's what Red Letter Media talked about.
Oh yeah. Army of the Dead, not Army of Thieves. Yeah.
Sorry, Army of the Dead. Yeah. So, but I liked Army of Thieves, and the whole flashy editing and the titles coming out and stuff worked well in that environment. Sometimes you can't really pull it off. And speaking of that
debut as well.
Yeah, exactly. And James Gunn did that well with the titles and the transitions and the Suicide Squad. Sometimes it takes you out, but if it seems like it's organically in the film like he did it was really well done. So it doesn't take itself too seriously. I think that's what people need to remember when they watch The Peacemaker too. Like we can have goofy versions of the superhero characters at the same time. So we don't have to get all upset about it.
No, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's probably a good place to end tonight's stream.
Okay.
because I'm really tired.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
I'm starving.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching. Thank you, James, for doing this with me. It's nice.
Thank you.
It's nice to be back for 2022. We've got lots of stuff planned for the YouTube channel. We've got lots of stuff planned for Small Screens, the website as well. James has got lots of stuff planned personally for his 2022 as well.
We've got a lot of good interviews coming up on Small Screen very soon.
We do. Yeah, we do. So and
I will plug Oliver Simonson spent almost a decade or more directing a CG 3D animation film off of Cerebus the Aardvark. If anyone knows what that is, it's the longest running independent comic book series of all time, and it was a work of passion and labor of love for him. And we'll be interviewing him. It's out now. You can get it on Vimeo for $2. It's a fun ride. Yeah.
And
so we'll be interviewing
also,
him soon.
That'll be fun. And also, James, you've got something to plug, haven't you?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to this new site that's been covering Small Screen and Geekosity. I think they just appeared out of nowhere, covering all the scoops. So if you're watching, thank you, Punk Beast. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Punk Beast. Right, what a name! I'm so jealous of that name and that URL. I can't believe it wasn't taken. But right, you can like and subscribe. Go on over to all of Small Screen's social media places. Small Screen Co. You can. Why don't you also go to TikTok if you're on TikTok and follow us over there as well, because I'm trying to do more stuff on TikTok this year. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. Try and get over 20 followers on TikTok. Yeah, and
everyone go to TikTok.
Yeah, everyone go over there and go over to the website, like and subscribe, follow us on Twitter. I'm pretty sure you all do already, but if you're new, please do. And like our Facebook page at Small Screen Co. And what else should people do, James? Why don't you round off the show? Punk Beast is haunting Edward's place.
It's flat.
Thanks
for watching, everyone. Yeah. Go follow us on all the socials. That's what it's about.
Yes.
Follow Edward on TikTok. Yeah, let's get those subscribers up.
Yeah. Awesome.
And thank you, everyone who subscribed recently. Really appreciate it. We're just trying to make good content. And thank you, Plum, for putting out that amazing Henry Cavill video you did. He got his booster shot today, so I hope he feels better. That's why he wasn't around today. He did a fantastic job on that. He absolutely killed it. And Clint, we miss you, man. We hope you're doing well.
We miss you, Clint.
Hope to see you next week. Yes, brother.
Yes. Right.
Because, we're a big family here.
Family, 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 family.
Family.
All right. Play us off, Edward.
Oh, thank you for watching Small Screen's incredible show.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yeah, I'm very busy. What's going on?